Okay. 5.7. Adoption of the Waikato Plan. We've got the copy here. More time reading for you. It's obviously been on the go since 2013, and myself and Councillor Park have been attending the meetings over the course of the time, so that's the final document. Nick, sorry, I didn't see you there. Nick, would you like to?
I didn't have anything really to add to the paper other than all of the other partner councils, Waitomo have both adopted the Waikato Plan in its current form and have made their appointments to the Waikato Plan Leadership Group. Waitomo is similar meeting today to you, so the expectation is that they'll also be making those appointments and agreeing with them.
Very good. And what's the exciting things for Lake Taupo District in there? Do we get mentioned?
We do. I think it would be fair to say that Taupo is seen as benefiting as part of the broader collaborative of the Waikato, rather than having any specific projects that are particularly targeted at this part of.
Well answered. Councillor Park.
Yeah, I think we can all agree with what's happening up with the Auckland boom and what's happening with the sort of Waikato district and areas up that northern part of the Waikato with the central government's investment in housing and whatnot, that all major projects are going to be to that northern end, which is why I think it's great that the leadership group is going to representation of different sort of subzones. And one of the recommendations is that Mayor, His Worship Brian Hanna be our representative, and I'd really like to ensure that happens. He's a very good gent, and I don't see the need with what is going to be happening at the northern region for us to probably, I don't want to say waste time, but to be putting in time into something where we're not going to immediately benefit. There'll be ripple effects, but it's going to take a while before we reap any of those. I think. But I'm happy to move the recommendation in full.
Thank you, Councillor. Yeah. Councillor Johns.
Thank you, Worship. Just a couple of questions I had actually. One was about this Waikato Plan Leadership Group, because you're asking us to approve the agreement, but when I read the minutes, there seemed to me to be quite a bit of dissension within the committee on the makeup of this leadership group. So I wanted to understand how that's going to work moving forward if the committee doesn't seem to have an agreement yet on who's who in that particular committee, and what the mandate is of that leadership group in terms of their authority over this final plan. Can I have...
Page 243.
Yeah.
So the leadership group will be a formal joint committee of all of the councils, much like the current joint committee is, that's developed and overseeing the development of the plan. So it will have a formal status in terms of each of the councils. In terms of the membership, you're correct. There's been quite a lot of debate amongst the member parties around what that makeup should be. There have been some who have wanted to see greater representation from local government, others who have wanted to see a much slimmer version. My point earlier was that all of those other partner councils have agreed to the current terms of reference that have been included with the agenda writing. What's been signalled is that that may well be reviewed within 12 months, with the local government representation being the area of review.
Yeah, and just through the chair, I think we need to be careful about not getting involved in other districts' inner politics. You know, like the Hamilton mayor might have a view where another mayor might have a different view, because there is some probably some manoeuvring sort of going on about where the chair of that, well, where the bulk of that should be when you've got districts that are so overlapped and integrated as well.
What's your read, both of you, on the future of, I mean, there was some discussion in those minutes about funding moving forward and who would be observers and who would be members, depending on whether people made contributions in kind or financially. Where do you see that heading?
Just to be very clear, if the terms of reference are to be changed, then they'll require
Coming back.
council to be involved.
Okay.
To approve that. So there won't be changes without Taupo District Council being involved in the process. As to what may happen in a review in 12 months, that's well and truly involved.
Okay.
The finances going forward, there's no commitment from us.
At this point in time, Taupo District Council is not providing funding for implementation. That may be something you choose to reassess through the long-term plan budgets, but at this point, nothing is committed.
And just through the chair, since the last time came to council for some funding for this Waikato plan, there have been other approaches for further funding for the transitional phase, of which a decision was made not even to bring it to the floor, that we would step back, because it was like 35,000 when we can spend that on far better projects here
Locally.
at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll wait and see. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Nick. And I know, and acknowledge Councillor Parkin and Councillor Johns initially too, as part of the process here. A lot of time in Hamilton, a lot of meetings away. So I really appreciate the effort, and hopefully it is a tool we can use in the future. So we're along the way. I think we were better in the camp than out of it. So so that's the final result. It's a fairly hefty document, but we've done it. All right, suggested recommendation there, how do we adopt the plan? Moved by Councillor Park, seconded by Councillor Harvey. Thank you. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried.